tried a concept before. We wanted to put together a big American star and a big UK star, just basically trying to cross the borders and bringing people together. And we tried it before with Rio Ferdinand and P. Diddy, and they got together and did some promotional stuff around Diddy's release of his record, and they were going to then get into concerts and various other things and restaurants and other stuff, but that didn't quite come together because Rio felt it was a little bit too soon for him in his career. So it was always a burning ambition to get that done. So it was about finding the right matches. So Jay-Z was a perfect match for music, and Ashley was a perfect match as far as football, because he's the most photographed football player at the moment, the most sought after football player. And what happened is that I've known Ashley for about 11 years. So I said to Ashley, do you fancy doing this? We had a number of meetings and dinners over it and discussed it. Then through someone I know, Jasmine Dotiwala, she put me in touch with Jay-Z's, one of Jay-Z's people. I then spoke to them. They then put me through to somebody else. I then said, how about this? They said, brilliant, we'd love to do it. And 9 months later, after 9 months of negotiation, it finally happened. Well, the deal entails a number of different projects around the entertainment business, and it's about giving back to the poorer communities and the youth. So we're starting off with a restaurant, but prior to that we may do other things, including film related, music related, just various entertainment related projects that the two of them sort of come up together and come up with the ideas and the concepts through our vision and all the rest of it, and then we make it happen. Well, I always think out of the box. You know, I never think about what other people might be doing or what hasn't been done or anything like that. I just think out of the box, and I'm always forever thinking of creating things that are different. And I think that any entrepreneur that wants to create something like this just got to think out of the box. You've got to think, and it's sometimes the most simplest things that the things that work, and it's just good not to overcomplicate and to believe in the vision of what you have and follow it through. And you know, there's many times during that deal where it could have fallen apart, but it was the desire, the belief and the focus that pushed that through to its finale. My first artist that I ever managed was Glamour Kid, and I got him signed to a record label, and again it was the same kind of scenario where we're talking about the publishing situation, whereby we got this artist, it was a big ghetto artist but hadn't gone mainstream, and I'd never done a record deal before. I'd never really done any kind of business like that. I was coming from being a DJ to this situation, and I told him that, look, even though I'm young and have not had no experience in this, give me 6 months and I'll get you a record deal. And the first offer we had was £10,000, and we took the deal up to over 100,000, and that was my first moment of enjoying the luxuries of life and started to fly upper class and going and recording out in the States and all that sort of stuff. So it was from that moment, and any income I got in was obviously had to spend it on luxuries because that's what you do, but also made sure that the money also went back into the business, because you know, it was all about sustaining that, and that was the priority of keeping that rolling along. At the start and even now, you know, it was about what value you bring to the table. You know, there's no point me telling you I'm going to charge you £10,000 a month if I can't bring any value that values at £10,000 a month. So it's always about, for me, about bringing value to the table. And whether you're a startup or whether you're established, it's about your value. If you're bringing value, you're bringing skills, you'll get paid adequately. If you're not bringing any value, you're going to get peanuts. Obviously, the big change is the fact that now we've got a track record, so immediately people don't squirm or think about it if we say a particular price.
It's always time, isn't it? Time is what you don't get back, but in order to see your family and see your loved ones enjoy life, you have to put time into making a success of yourself so that you can actually help them enjoy their lives. And that's the bottom line. if you care about anything, or if you care about, you know, the people that are close to you, you want to see them enjoy their time here on this planet. So the only way you're going to do that is if you work hard and give them the luxuries that they might not ever see.
I don't call it sacrifice. What I call it is that I've got a goal, and once I achieve my goal, then everything else can fall into place. Now, I'm not that guy that will go to Christian every week and go to this social gathering every week, because that's not my personality. It's never been that. It's always been driven by, I have a goal, and all focus is on that, and everything else becomes secondary. I need to be in a position where if in this very second I got a call that I need to go to LA right now, I'll go immediately. I don't need to ask someone and say, oh, sorry babes, I need to go to LA, or sorry dad, I need to go to LA. I haven't got time for that nonsense. I'm ready to move. That's what I need to do, because now is the time that I can do it, you know, and so that I can then enjoy my life and have all the things that I want to have.
There was an opening for his personality to have a book in the first place, and I think the journey kind of started by going to our lawyer, and our lawyer then hooking us up with publishing agents, because at that time we thought that was the route. You need to go to a publishing agent, and then they'll go out and speak to the actual publishers and try and get the deal done for you, and you kind of sit back as management and wait for them to do that. But I guess what we found was we weren't happy with what they were coming back with as far as the figures and their feedback. Chris in particular was very confident that he could get the numbers far higher, and that the personality that we wanted to make the book for was worth a lot more. So therefore we disregarded the agent and started contacting the publishers that we thought were right for this particular client, and then started negotiating directly with them, and before you knew it, the figures had trebled what the publishing agent had initially quoted or brought in to start with. So that kind of just showed us that there's clearly a skill in negotiating, and although this agent had been a publisher for maybe 15 years plus and done a lot of high profile books, this was to be our first book, and we'd already done a far better deal than, you know, what the agent had done.
Well, they do fall down, and I pick them back up and I juggle them again. So you just keep pushing forward with what you got to do, and if one thing falls down, you pick it back up and you juggle it again, and until you keep them all up and you get them all in a position that you want them in. Of the artists that are out there, talent that's out there, I think Scorcher would be one that I'd like to work with, because I see him as a UK Tupac. I can see him doing film and music and all that sort of stuff. I mean, there's a load of great talent out there that we'd love to work with, and we like to work with good talent. I like watching documentaries on successful people, and it doesn't have to be music people, it could be politicians, and you know, I'd liked, for example, a film that really helped influence me. Well, no, it didn't help influence me, I'm lying. A film that I did like and draw some inspiration from was Frost. You know, the way that he managed to get that interview with Nixon and the things that he had to do to get that done. It just kind of put it in the mode of, when you do a deal, it's a similar thing. You do whatever you need to do to make that deal happen. We're working on loads of different projects. We're doing a really big urban entertainment type project. It's an £850 million project where we're looking to bring all the key people in urban entertainment under one roof and create what I think will be something that's special and different. And you know, we're all about encompassing everyone, bringing everyone in. You know, for a long time, the urban community, everyone's been doing their own little stuff in the corners and not really making any money. and I think it's about time we all come together to really take us forward as a force. If you look at our charts, it's dominated by urban young talent. You know, you look at football, the same. So it's about time that we come together, and this project is going to be one of those ones. And then we've got obviously some very high profile clients that we're working on. Next year we've got Usain Bolt's book coming out, we've got John Terry's book coming out next year. So 2012 is a big year. We've got Jay-Z and Ashley's restaurant opening next year, so we have a hell of a lot, and it's a special year next year, so I'm really excited about that.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.